Alright guys, just a little catch me up, little progress on the E7TE 50 degree seat project. It's looking relatively good. I did want to do a drawing for you guys. I'll do that before the end of this video, because I'm definitely figuring out bowl shape in reference to these steeper angles. And of course it all makes sense, but sometimes you got to cut and test to start figuring things like this out. So we will go over. Okay, we'll do this one first. This is the first one after I blended the chamber together. When I blended the chamber together, I got a lot of hits or miss, right? And it got noisy as can be at the higher lifts and lost a bunch of flow. Okay, so at this point here, this one here, I fully ported I did the whole port from top to bottom. I did the same bowl. I took a little bit off the roof, and I did work to the pinch. Okay, you can see it's hit or miss too. It lost a little bit at the low flows, right? Because this one was actually quite good at the lower flows. And then she picked up, and our max at 500 was 211.6. Okay, not great, but not bad. I took the exhaust, and this is the exhaust when I just put my radius on, and then I kicked the outside wall out. So kicking the outside wall out, we got plus, plus, minus, plus, 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 plus. It seems like it liked it, okay? So at 500, we got 262.9, which isn't bad. 181.8 with the small pipe, 181.8 with the small pipe, 188 with the big pipe. Okay, not bad. It's definitely shaping up. So I took some air speeds. Okay. The roof, we've got some decent air speeds, right? Usually the back of the bowl, not a whole lot happens to, but I kept the short side radius quite high still, so it forces the air to the back of the bowl. So I took a look at these numbers, and I decided what to do from that point. And then I've got these numbers, which told me I needed to widen the bowl. I need to widen the short side radius a little bit. Okay, we got plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, plus. Okay, and at 500 we went from 214.6, 211.6 to 214.8. Getting closer, but it's still hit or miss, right? You get some increases, you get some decreases. So definitely haven't found the magic bullet yet, but we're getting closer. I mean, closer. These are nowhere near where I want them to be, but slowly creeping up on higher flows. And on the exhaust, I did the same thing. I took some air speeds, right? 313, 258, 314, 295. Fairly even around that exhaust port. So what I wound up doing was I took more out of the outside wall, the cylinder side wall, and I took a little bit on the inside wall. The inside wall you got to be careful of because it's got a thin spot. So you can't go crazy with that, right? So you got plus equals plus minus 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 plus 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 plus. Okay, and at 500 we went from 262.9 to 264, which is not a big change. 181.8 to 183 with a small pipe, 188 to 189.9 with a big pipe. So it liked it a little bit, but it didn't make a radical change. So from that point, I took some more air speeds, right? This is your intake. The roof center of cylinder roof versus your cylinder wall side roof. Look how close those are. That's not bad. That's what you want. You want the air speeds to be close on either side of the bowl, because then you use the periphery more efficiently, right? Take a look at these. They're fast. It's at 500 lift, so it's at almost 215 CFM. Fast, fast, fast. Very even, though. So it makes me wonder what I need to do next, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to take a little bit out of the apex of that short side radius, I think, but I'm really going to, I think I'm going to inch up on it, because I want to keep it as high as I can, because I like my air speeds around that bowl. Okay? Let's take a look at our air speeds for the exhaust. We've got 316, 290, relatively close. They were actually closer before, because I knocked out that wall a little bit more. It lowered that airspeed. Actually, I knocked this wall out, so more air went to that side, reduced the amount of air on the inside. Okay? But take a look at the floor on the outside. It's all staying to that far corner. Which we'll look at this one. It's all staying at this corner here. That's our highest speed, right? So that's the other head, obviously. Okay. And our floor speeds went from 258 to 254, very close on that corner. 295 to 287. Lost a little bit here. Okay, so this is the only corner that went up. Everything else went down. All right, let's take a look at that. Okay, you can see I'm inching up on getting that bowl as wide as the David Vizard E7TEs. I still have the full guide in. I didn't raise the roof to the point where I have to worry about it breaking through. Because remember, right behind that hole that's drilled is a hole that goes perpendicular to the exhaust port. So the roof gets thin there. I don't want to have a problem with that. But you can see it's starting to come along. That outside wall is quite thick, so you can take some decent metal out of that before you have to worry about it. There is a thin spot right behind that divot, behind that circle. There's a thin spot right in there, so you're better off leaving that divot out. Just leave it the way it is. Don't take any more metal out of that. There's a thin spot in there. Okay, a little bit different lighting here. Okay, you can see I have our throats are 1.6, 1.265, but they're both very tight for a 50. Okay, now that I look at it this way, I think I realize why the gains are coming so slow. We've got... I goofed something up there. That's not right. Hold on a second. Alright, guys. Yeah, I was goofing that up. Okay, the throat on the intake is only 86.4%. The throat on the exhaust, 78.7%. Real tight. So, but I'd rather inch up on it than just blow the throat out and basically ruin the head. So I will definitely... Let's take a look at them. You can still see there's plenty of meat on that throat, right, all the way around. Now, actually, I have to be careful of the bowl thickness because I want these nice and thick, because these are gonna get beat like a red-headed stepchild. So, I know what I wanted to show you. I want to do a drawing for you guys. Hold on a second. All right, crappy drawings, but got to get this done quick tonight. I got to be somewhere. I think this is a big part of the problem is with the 45, you have to bend the air more, right, to get around. So you need a smaller throat and you need more of a curve on these walls, more funnel shape, you might say. right? In order to make it efficient. Now, when you go to the 50, it's almost like taking a smaller valve and moving it down here. That's you can kind of think of it that way. Take a smaller valve and put it in there. I mean, in theory, it'll do almost the same job, but you're further away from the chamber wall, so you lose some deshrouding, which is actually good, right? But now if you take a look at designing it for the steeper seat, right, you want to bend that air less, so you're going to need a bigger throat and less of a curve on your bowl. Your bowl is going to be much straighter. Now with the E7s, I mean, remember what the stocker looks like, right? And they are quite thick castings, but they're getting there quick. So I definitely have to inch up on that bowl shape. Okay, you can start to see now that the floor has been widened a decent amount already, right? And the roof has been widened a decent amount already. I'm not thin anywhere, but like I said, I'm gonna inch up on it. I made the pinch the same as the DV E7s. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel at that point. Thinking of a way to make a Gleason E out of a pair of dial calipers. I may bring them to work tomorrow, see if I can do a 5-minute welding job on them. And it's not actually my idea. I spotted it on the internet. But if I can get that done, it'll make doing the pinches a lot easier. All right, guys, it's coming along. It's taking its time. And I didn't think the 50s would be easy. But so far, not really thrilled with them, to be honest. That curve is down quite a bit over my 45s with 1.94s. And to be honest, I don't think you could go 1.94s and 250s because there's no way to make the bowl big enough. So the 1.85 is probably your limit with a 50. And that short side radius is going to be a challenge. All right, guys, just an update. Thanks a lot.